Welcome to Netflix a la carte, and in this delivery we continue Money Heist mode on because we are so astonished with many of the theories that have been hovering after the end of the third season. Now here we will show you the most outstanding ones that we got from the previous video, which if you haven't seen it will be popping up here. These theories are classified by different cases. The first one I will talk about will be the Nairobi's case. Abril Valencia said that Nairobi can't die because people would react brutally and turn against the police. Well, that's true, but let's remember that Sierra said that shooting her would distract the team by playing doctor. That right moment will be the perfect opportunity to have control of the bank. Also, her first attempt didn't go very well because Tokyo and Rio attacked them with a large missile. However, other theories such as Noeli Bustillos claim that Nairobi was killed. They also comment that the next season will focus on the search for Raquel by the professor. Now, let's take into account the point of view of the international press. The publication of Comercio Peru states that the possibility of life of Nairobi will depend on surgical skill of the team, which in previous seasons showed that they can perform, so it's possible to save her life. Well, there are 3 points of view that can be debated. Now, I think similar to Abril Valencia does, because Sierra may be very impulsive, but she's not an idiot to damage her image in front of the whole country, and we've seen that. So I think that this shot wasn't deadly, it was just a great method of distraction. In this order, we continue with our second theory, and it's the case of Tatiana, the ex-girlfriend of Berlin. Lately, in social network, we have found many doubts about this character. One of the most crazy theories is that of Paulo Diaz. He says that Sierra is actually Tatiana since there is an undeniable resemblance in her physique, which sincerely made me think they were the same person. On the other hand, Abril Valencia said that Tatiana and Marseille will be the key pieces to solve the chaos generated in the third season. Being a little coherent, it is unlikely that Sierra is Tatiana, since the professor would have already known about this because he met her personally. There is no doubt that Tatiana could play an important role in the fourth season. The question I ask myself is, will she be the best ally or the worst enemy of the resistance? She knows the whole plan perfectly. Berlin told him because of the love he felt for her. Well, a little strange the way to love after 4 divorces and an expressed love he had in the second season. So, this character has 2 paths, one in favor of the team and the other against. The first one, be the angel of the resistance. She knows all the facets of the robbery. 2 events can happen. The first is that she has seen in the media that the team is locked up and gives the help and support to the professor. Or may from the time they launch the dirigibles camouflage as a hostage. It can also become a key piece and it will replace Nairobi. The second one is to be the terror of the resistance. The professor from the beginning told Berlin that it was a bad idea to tell Tatiana all the plans because being a thief like them could betray them and reveal all the secrets. This theory becomes credible after in the last chapter Sierra sent his subordinate to make public a reward for those who know where the professor was and the plans he has finally to steal the gold from the bank. This could make Tatiana talk and take the reward. What do you think? Will Tatiana be an angel or a demon? Well, now it's Marseille's turn. Let's talk about him now. It's known that the professor invited him to be a part of the band to be a problem solver, which no doubt we could see clearly in the third season, because without him, the professor and the band would never have known about the narcotic gas that Sierra was injecting to kill them. Let's also remember that he's the only member not identified by the police, so according to the newspaper El Comercio, this represents a great advantage for the professor and that this character can easily infiltrate the security forces and could pose as an end. This would be an excellent strategy because the band would have advantage over the cops. It is time to talk about Lisboa's cases and the future of the professor. Our already famous in this video, Abril Valencia, says that Lisboa can return if a member of intelligence betrays the police. Who do you think this character could be? That's right, it's Angel, because for years he's been in love with Raquel and might be able to do it for love. On the other hand, Durán Castillo states that Lisboa will try to find a way to communicate with the professor to tell him that she's okay. Now, what will happen if Lisboa can never communicate with the professor or if she gets into Sierra's hands? Sierra will most likely put her through everything Rio has gone through and may even use Raquel's daughter and her mother as a threat in order to get information to capture the professor. Another one of the comments that we found more is the reason why the professor makes the attack, and it's the revenge for the death of his brother. And Rio was the perfect excuse to start. There are definitely so many options that Alex Pina may surprise us with. Surely everything that happened in this fourth season will be a surprise and pure dynamite. Also, there is still something very important that we have not talked about. How are they going to get all the gold? And the FIFA, ABC, tell us the way to get the gold will be in the Chapo Guzman style. For the tunnels that are under the ban, remember that in this season a soldier was asked if it is possible to go out through the tunnels. This is one reply that it will have to be a work of engineer of tunnelers to more than 100 kilometers of depth. He's supposed to say that because he knows the layout of the place perfectly. It would lead us to think of the possibility to the tunnels could take the band to the monastery. As you know, the best is for the end. These are two crazy theories that could be valid in the fourth season. One of them is that of Ángel Hernández and says the following: the professor and the band are arrested and probably executed. The comment that has seen in cases in which Netflix has been criticized for broadcasting series as 13 Reasons Why, where the series doesn't end with a happy ending. For the Money Heist, a possible ending will be the sentence of the band, or at least some of the main characters. What do you think of this theory where the government wins? On the other hand, one of the theories that I would certainly love to be true, although I see it as unlikely, is that Berlin is not really dead. What do you mean? Let's see what Jimmy Bula tells us about this. Tatiana realized that he never died and was waiting to release him. Jimmy says that in the third season they give us hints that Berlin is still alive. One of those tracks is in one of the flashbacks where Berlin said it had 6 years left to live and want to die on the beach. Well, the truth is this is very crazy, but I didn't want to miss this little opportunity that would make us all happy. Finally, I wanted to highlight a theory that Samu CS did, something more general about what we will see in the fourth season. The level of action of the third season forced the script writers to write a fascinating new season, and at the same time they must avoid that the series only shows the world. Remember that what attracts us to this series is not pure action, but strategy. And this will be very difficult now, because remember that the professor had 20 years to prepare the robbery from the coin factory, and only 2.5 months for the Bank of Spain. However, there is something that gives me hope: the fact that they are turning gold into dust. Gold weighs the same and occupies the same space in whatever form it is. So something makes me think that the idea of transforming it is not making it easier to get out of there. There has to be something else, something that was thought from the beginning and that will change the course of the story. On the other hand, he said he would love to see how they left Spain in the flashback, because at the end of the second, all the robbers walk out of the hangar, and at the beginning of the third, we see how they arrive by the boat in international waters. But it must be remembered that by time, the identities of the majority of the band were already known by the police and the media, and that Operation Condor was activated. That is, all exits from Madrid were closed. I particularly believe that there will be many deaths in the band. Surely not Tokyo, because after all, she is the narrator. And that one of the safest will be that the professor. However, if professor dies, everything will be perfectly closed. For example, 1. The obvious. The series will not be extended in a forced way. 2nd, there will be a loss, which is necessary in any film finale. 3rd, the character would pay off his debt to Palermo for the fame he cast in his face of not getting involved. In any case, I hope there is no possibility of 5th season, although I would see it. Well, Netflix maniacs, in this video I want to clear your mind a little, or make them harder, with some of the theories that you create that caught my attention. There is nothing left until we wait until the release date of the 4th season to see with what will surprise us. Then, I leave a recommend content for you who are a fan of Netflix. And if you don't want to miss anything, I invite you to subscribe and activate the bell so you don't miss more content. I would love for you to write in the comments which are the best Netflix series for you. Remember, that is Netflix a la carte of BreakSocialtv.